Hey guys, so this is kind of a new version of the Kael'thas Hunter Solo. There's a couple of things wrong with the first one. Biggest of which being is the sound. Is you can't hear it, and that's kind of an important part to a how-to video. Is the sound. That was my first video I ever made. I didn't really understand how to adjust the sound inside of a video, so it didn't get adjusted. I wouldn't, usually I wouldn't worry about it, except for that video is still really popular, so I'm just assuming that more people are trying to solo this encounter and having trouble with it or something along those lines. So this is to try and reach the new people that are looking for information on soloing this encounter, and maybe people that didn't really find my first video all that useful. This is for you guys as well. Not a lot changes. This is going to be one of my more recent kills, so it's going to be a little bit more of a fluid kill than the other video was. That was an earlier kill. So all I'm doing on the first 4 adds is just kind of separating them. I took the 2 melee guys to the back. I'm going to put a snake trap on the 4th add, the engineer. He picks a random person on his aggro table and puts his toy debuff on him, which stuns him, just to kind of make sure I don't get the toy debuff going into the next phase. Put the snakes on him, so he'll probably put the debuff on a snake. So that closes out the first phase. The second phase is going to be a series of weapons, a bunch of weapons at spawn. You just want to get them misdirected on your pet as soon as you can. Throw a little AoE flame trap down, get misdirect up, and start multi-shotting him. You want to focus on the Cosmic Infuser first. He's the only one in the group that can heal. And so I'll be putting inside misdirects, I'll be putting the multi-shots, and then I'll just single target one down. After that, I like to do the bulwark. Next, the longer the fight goes on, the less damage he'll take. So I kill him fast, just so he'll take the most damage from my shots, and I kind of take down everybody else. Remember, inside of a multi-shot, or inside of a misdirect, multi-shot really doesn't do an incredible amount of damage. If all 3 of them crit, you're really only doing about 45k, or I'm only doing about 45,000 damage if all 3 of them crit to one mob. And so, one Chimera shot and some healing aggro, and I'm going to override that. So you just have to make sure, if you're losing aggro on the weapons, you're probably thinking that you're putting a little too much damage inside your misdirect. You need to misdirect more often. You saw me kill the caster staff right there. As soon as you kill the caster staff, you loot it, equip it, and then you'll use it. Open your character screen and use it. Right here you see me just kind of making the next phase a little bit easier. Put the flame trap down with a misdirect, so the girl is automatically misdirected on, and throw a snake trap on the engineer again, just so he has a couple of other people to focus on for a second. And then you're just going to kind of burn down. I like to burn down the caster. She has the least amount of health, so I'll burn her down first, and then I'll move on to the warrior. Just pop my potion cooldown, get some cooldowns rolling, and burn down that caster as fast as you can. After the caster ad is down, I'm going to focus on the warrior. After that, he's a little difficult to control with him targeting other people on his aggro table. So I'm just going to kind of keep him misdirected onto the pet. Whenever his gaze comes up, there's really nothing you can do. Just try and misdirect him back and hide him around a little bit. It's not that big of a deal. Try and maintain some distance on the paladin. He's got that fear. You see me eat the fear a couple times. I wasn't doing that great of a job on it, but yeah, probably do a little bit better than I did, so you can keep some distance on him. And after the warrior's down, I like to put the paladin down. After that, the engineer's pretty useless once you have the staff buff, which makes it to where you cannot be stunned or disoriented. You can see actually my pet lost the buff. I got too far away from my pet. And he lost it. I had to run in right here to give him the staff buff back. That's all you have to do. Just make sure you can see your pet's buffs. And if you see it fall off, just run back and get close to him and give it back to him. Now I'm just kind of getting set up for the next phase. Throwing a little flame trap here down in the path that I know Kael'thas is going to run in, so I can get a misdirection onto the pet immediately. Finish this guy off and then get in position for the next phase. This is really probably the phase that gives a lot of people trouble. It's just kind of a weird phase because we have to kind of gimmick it a little bit with staying out of line of sight for his mind control. So I'm just going to wait for Kael'thas. I can see his target. He's already aggroed on my pet right here, so I'm going to put my pet on him. And then I'm going to line of sight him immediately so he does not mind control me, because that mind control will come out fast. He's already done one. You can already see it. You know he's doing a mind control when he has the bow to my will. He'll say that. You can hear it, and it'll say in the chat window, so you can see it. You just need to make sure you're out of line of sight whenever he yells that. After he yells it, you've got some time, I'd say about 20 seconds, to come out and start DPSing him again and get Mend Pet rolling. As long as you have the positioning set up for this phase, it's easy. It's kind of all in the first couple seconds of this phase and getting Kael'thas on your pet and getting him in a good position. You see the Phoenix spawn, you're just going to misdirect that Phoenix onto your pet if you can. If you can't, you'll just have to kite him around. Just try and stay as close as you can to your pet so he doesn't lose his disorient buff, or the buff that blocks disorient. As soon as the Phoenix is down, you'll kill the egg. As soon as you can. If you don't, that can respawn back into a Phoenix. And then you're just kind of DPSing between his little says that he does, which is obey me or bow to my will. You just have got to be out of line of sight whenever you know one is coming. See, I'm getting out of sight. I'm pretty sure his MC deal's coming up. I'm going to keep firing, and it just went off, so I'm getting back in line of sight and shooting him. You can see whenever I'm out of line of sight, my gun is still moving. So I'm still hitting abilities whenever I'm out of line of sight to make sure I am. This setup I've got, this particular attempt is great because I can easily line of sight my pet for misdirects while getting out of line of sight of Kael'thas. It's pretty easy. You can see me, I'm trying to hit my weapon right there just to make sure I'm out of line of sight. I'm just going to play it safe. Wait for the next one to come out. This is perfect. I'll probably do 10% of his damage while he's running to the next phase. Just going to play it safe and wait for his obey me or whatever yell, his mind control yell. He's not going to kill your pet as long as you've got some decent gear. He's not going to do anything to your pet. See, I'm trying to just make sure I'm out of line of sight. There, he just did his yell out of my will, so I know it's safe to go and push him into the next phase. You always want to make sure you're out of those little flame strike deals too. They can still hit you pretty hard for about 100,000. As soon as he hits 50%, he goes into the next phase. You want to make sure you are out of line of sight for the start of phase 5. There was I've seen him do it a couple of times where he'll cast one final mind control to start phase 5. It's basically a wipe because you'll kill, or not a wipe, but it's a reset because you'll kill your pet and that'll force him to despawn. So you just want to make sure you're out of line of sight. Just play it safe. Not a big deal. It's the final phase of the fight. If you've gotten here, it's pretty much done. This is extremely easy. You just want to kind of keep your pet probably 30 yards away. You don't really need your pet that close to him, and I'll let you know why here in a second. Just keep aggro on your pet, keep misdirecting some damage and stuff like that. That's about, see, this is way too close. I should have pulled my pet back. Whenever he throws you up in the air, whenever you're about head level, you'll disengage to reset your fall, and then you'll start floating at that point. See, those little kind of black, cloudy balls that are floating around him there, those put out a debuff. Anyone that gets too close to him, your health will go down by 10%. You can see that my pet's health is now below 100,000 when he started with like 140 to 150. Because my pet was getting too close, and so he's going to get much more difficult to keep alive the longer the fight goes on, and the more I allow him to get too close to to Kael'thas like that. And so now I'm just a burn phase. I'm just gonna burn his health down, keep him misdirected onto the pet, continue to roll Mend Pet at all times, especially if you've allowed him, like I have, to gain some of the negative health debuffs like my pet has got. But I mean, relative to the other phases, this one's pretty simple. So if you've gotten here, you've probably already gotten it. That's really all there is to it, to this fight. Just be sure and let me know in the comments if you still got a question about anything, or if there was something that I really didn't cover. Just let me know, and I try and get around to any questions that I see to try and help people down this stuff. Going forward, there's not a lot of solo videos that I have in mind. I could do a lot more of the raids, maybe SSC or Black Temple, and they're really not that difficult, and that's kind of one of the reasons I haven't made videos for them, is because they're already pretty easy. And they don't really drop anything that I'm looking for. I'm not really interested in the gear. But going forward, I'm going to try and try and put some information out there, give us something to do, like I did with the little hunter pets there, to give us something to do until Mists comes out. And, as it gets closer, as they at least issue a release date, I'm not sure how I'm going to handle doing Mists of Pandaria videos. I really wasn't planning on doing it, because I didn't really want to spoil anything for anybody. I spoiled a lot of stuff when I was on the Burning Crusade beta, and I got really burned out at the start of Burning Crusade because I'd already seen it a couple of times on beta, so I really didn't want to do that to anybody. I didn't really want to overflow anybody with information from the Mist beta, so I'm probably not going to do a lot of Mist videos. Now, as soon as Mist of Pandaria comes out, yeah, I'm gonna start throwing some information at you, and I'm gonna throw it at you pretty fast too. I've always been either, usually in the first 10 people on my server, and I've got a pretty high population server, first 10 people on my server to hit the level cap. I've always been able to do that without really going that far out of my way to do it. My guild is always, none of us really go nuts with it. We always get our sleep and do whatever else we need to do, but we're still getting there pretty quick, so we're going to keep doing that. And for Mists, I'm going to probably hit it even harder, so I can get you guys the information that all of us are looking for as fast as I possibly can. But thanks for watching, guys.